What's the most satisfying case of instant karma you've witnessed? When my sister Julia got engaged, nobody was surprised. She was the golden child. Charming, stylish, always knew how to make people like her. Her fiancé, Alan, was quiet, polite, and clearly smitten. A little boring maybe, but stable. My parents loved him. I kept my mouth shut. Julia was the kind of person who saw attention as oxygen. If she wasn't the center of the room, she'd find a way to be. I spent years watching her take credit for other people's work, shift blame, turn on friends the second they stopped being useful. But family sticks together, right? So when she asked me to be her maid of honor, I said yes. It was her big day. Her perfect Pinterest wedding. Everything white and gold and delicate. But something was off with Alan. He wasn't cold. He wasn't mean. Just tired. And not the wedding stress kind of tired. The kind that sets in when you've been pretending for too long. I caught him alone once during a cake tasting. He looked up from his phone and said, "You ever wonder what happens when you realize too late that someone isn't who you thought they were?" I didn't answer. Julia was controlling every detail, down to the flower arrangements and seating charts. Alan barely had a say. Anytime he tried to give input, she'd roll her eyes or laugh at him. "He's not really a decision maker," she once told me, right in front of him. I expected him to protest. He didn't. 2 weeks before the wedding, Julia had her bachelorette party in Vegas. I didn't go. Work emergency. And honestly, I didn't feel like pretending to enjoy myself while she humiliated the waitstaff. But pictures surfaced. Videos too. One of them ended up on someone's Instagram story before it got deleted. Julia kissing someone, not Alan. My stomach dropped when I saw it. I told myself maybe it wasn't what it looked like. Maybe it was a dare or a drunken mistake. But when I asked her about it, she just laughed and said, "It's Vegas. What happens there stays there. Besides, Alan would never leave me. He needs me." That was her mistake. Wedding day arrived. The venue was stunning. Guests everywhere. Julia in a designer gown, soaking in compliments like sunlight. Alan stood at the altar, pale but composed. Then the officiant asked if anyone had reason the two shouldn't be wed. And Alan spoke. "I do." The whole room froze. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small remote. Hit play. The speakers crackled. Then audio started. Julia, drunk, loud, laughing. "I mean, he's sweet, but he's so boring. If I have to fake one more smile around his family, I'll scream." Then another clip. Her voice again, clearer this time. "I could cheat in front of him and he'd probably apologize for not being exciting enough." Gasps echoed across the room. My parents looked like they'd been slapped. Julia stood frozen, mouth open. Alan turned to the guests. "I loved her. I thought we were partners, but I'm not marrying someone who sees love as leverage." Then he turned back to Julia. "I hope you find whatever it is you're actually looking for." He walked out. Julia tried to follow him, but the videographer had already caught every second of it. Guests started whispering. A few people clapped. Someone, I think one of Alan's groomsmen, popped open champagne like it was a celebration. Julia left the venue in tears. The video ended up online, though I'll never admit who leaked it. Alan moved states a few months later. Heard he's dating someone new, someone who doesn't treat him like an accessory. As for Julia, she still tells people he just wasn't ready for commitment.